started my trip March 20th of 2024. I'm about almost 5 months in on the dot, about a week shy of 5 months. Tomorrow will be my 150th day on the road. I have about a week left. I left home in New Hampshire from my parents' house. In 1 week I will be crossing the border of Oregon and starting to make a new life there. Glacier National Park will be my 40th national park. It's the last national park I'm doing on my trip. I have a motorcycle and a truck, so the truck has gone about 16,000 miles now. It might do another 500 to 1,000 when I get there, and my motorcycle has gone 6,000.
I can see him. There he is. Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, shit. Good to see you. You've got me a sandwich and a beer? Hell yeah, thank you. Dude, it is a miracle that I am here right now. The traffic going to Boston was unbelievable. It was like just before 4 o'clock. And I'm like, yeah, the ride to Boston's like just over an hour. And as we're driving, the time just keeps going up. And I'm like, Dad, I'm doing 10 over. And the time, the time is getting longer. My flight was due to leave at 6:30. We pulled up to Boston like just after 5:30. And you know, boarding starts like 30 minutes before. So I'm like, I gotta get through checkout and security in like half an hour. And of course, security is like the slowest line I've ever seen. So I got to my gate for the flight that was supposed to leave at 6:30 at 6:15. And I was like, I didn't make it. And then I get a text like, your flight has been delayed till 7 p.m. I didn't buy refundable tickets either, so I would have just had to repurchase my plane tickets.
No.
So that was a freaking miracle. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be done with that.
Makes a funny sound. That's good to go. I saw the Northern Lights while the Perseids shot through it. It was pretty cool.
The Perseids?
Greek ass.
Get it right. Get it right.
Yay, camp.
It's quite a setup you got here.
It looks crazy, but I know where every last little nail is.
I'm sure you do.
And it has to go back. If you move this like that, you're gonna f me up. You gotta put it right back where you found it. It's cloudy.
Yeah, I figured. It's raining.
What?
Good night. It's not quiet here, as you can hear. We're right by a pretty heavily used road, but I still slept pretty well. It's a combination of being really tired and having that nice warm sleeping bag. Time for coffee. First, I want to check out this trail. A lot of old man's beard here. It's very cool. The majority of the trees in here appear to be cedar, which is interesting. I don't see a lot of that back at home. These guys right here. This is a big one right over here. Kind of flaky bark. And all of these. I could be completely wrong because I don't see a lot of cedar trees, but that's what I think they are. Yeah, I got baked out of my tent.
Yeah.
It's blue skies right now.
It's supposed to be really bad by like 9 a.m.
It's 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up and the sun was hitting my tent and it was like 100 degrees in there. And I was like, this is not what I was expecting this morning. Let's check out another trail while we wait for that. This one goes just by my tent.
I think this path goes all the way to the other campsite, so I don't know if it goes that way though.
That's a gondola thing. It goes across the river.
No way.
Gondola that goes across the river. But I don't know how you get off on the other side.
That little hut over there is a stream gauging the station, so
I'll hide in the river or something.
Oh, it is.
yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, it's this thing.
It's got a padlock on the other side of you.
Oh, that would have been so cool. Ooh, that's quite a drop.
People are going down into the logs and going across. It's actually easier to get down in front of that thing, but not by much.
These are all cedar trees.
I was gonna say they don't look normal.
These ones with like the vertical kind of flaky bark. And they have
up by their pine cones.
they have these.
They have the little bit. They're the only trees that have like a big packet of these little baby pine cones. Cedars are the only ones like that.
Yeah. Yeah, all these big trees are big cedars. It's really cool.
I got.
Yeah, those are Indian pipes. They're actually not mushrooms or fungus. They're actually flowers, but they're white like that because they don't photosynthesize. They don't have any chlorophyll. They just leach nutrients from the roots and the mycelium layer. Oh, there's another patch one right here.
You walked by a couple of them. They're kind of everywhere.
Yeah, those are cool. Coffee's ready. Heading back.
Ew. I'm just gonna let it hang.
Pancake time!
Put anything on them?
Oh, I forgot.
And what else got fucking voices in the mouth?
forecast had called for rain today, so Eric and I hadn't planned much for our agenda. Instead, we would spend the day checking out another potential campsite, which would offer much better views and would be located next to a large nearby reservoir. So, with not much else planned for the day, we headed over to see if we could secure a spot.
What were your main challenges when you first set off?
I would definitely say the biggest challenge was the cold. I left a little earlier than I should have. In March, I left home and I went to Shenandoah for like a week. When I went to Shenandoah, which was my first stop, most nights never got out of the 20s. I ended up sleeping with like 3 jackets every night and 2 pairs of sweatpants and 3 pairs of socks and so on. And I was still pretty cold, but it made it like neutral with all the blankets that I had added up. I had my brown sweatshirt on that I had this morning, my Hampton hoodie, my puff jacket, and then my rain jacket, and then I put my winter jacket over that. And I slept with like the 3 hoods on. I couldn't move. I felt like a Michelin man, but it was warmish.
If you had to repeat the trip, what would you do differently?
I think I would have planned a little bit more. I was pretty much winging it every day up until like, I don't know, maybe the last couple stops. I started planning ahead because I only had a few left to plan. Yeah, I would have probably planned places that were free to stay ahead of time. And I would have downloaded maps offline on Google of all the national parks I was going to do so that I didn't because a couple of them I forgot to do that. And then you get to where it's always offline, there's no service, so you're just kind of I had to do manual maps every day while I was driving, even on the bike. It was awful.
How did the tent hold up in those storms?
It's a Rome Rambler. They're discontinued now for good reason. For some reason, they designed the roof to look cool instead of, function as a tent. So the way it's shaped, it doesn't drain, so it collects like a lake of water on the top. So when you go to close it, you got to do like the morning Niagara Falls onto your roof or onto your tailgate. It has an aluminum trim ring around the upper and lower edges, and when it's open and the tent wiggles in the wind, the edge of the aluminum cuts away at the bottom of the fabric on all the corners. So there's like little 1-2 inch opening holes that I can stick my fingers through, and every day they just grow a tiny bit more. That's the only tent I've seen where they roll the fabric over the outside of the trim ring, which is kind of weird, but I love rooftop tents. That price alone is worth being 10 feet off the ground when you actually are out here living.
This site is significantly nicer than the last one. The views are incredible. was one hell of a sunrise. Oh, the cloud inversion and the fog running across the water. It was just tremendous. There was a slight breeze, and it was cool but not too chilly. It's always such a cool moment when the sun just first pokes up from behind the mountains. After enjoying sunrise and a slow morning, Eric and I head off for Glacier National Park. Our plan is to drive the entirety of the Going to the Sun Road from the west entrance to Many Glacier.
It's only $20 for 7 days.
Yeah, that's not bad. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, man. Y'all need a map today?
Yes, please.
Have a good one.
Thank you, you as well. Have a good one.
For this trip into the park, we weren't making many stops. It would be a 7-hour round trip from camp, and our lack of permits meant we could only enter the park after 3 p.m. We planned to come back into the park another day, and for this visit we just wanted to enjoy the sights. past St. Mary Lake, there is a notable and dramatic change in the landscape, from towering mountains to wide open rolling hills. The hotel and surrounding buildings of this area are a National Historic Landmark, with their original construction dating back to 1915. It is popular due to the great access it provides for a number of awesome hiking trails nearby. It is located at the end of the drive, so here we turn around and head all the way back the way we came. As the sun set, we still had quite a long drive back to camp. Once back, we'd settle in for a calm evening similar to the last.